love language of social media be love? Like, why can't we just use that to be like? Why can't we have a competition of how positive your comment can be? That's not interesting for some reason.
No, it's not interesting. Also, we're trash.
Does it need to
People
be
are
the
trash.
People are like, do we
people
need
can,
to be
people
trash?
Can be trash.
Can we take ourselves out of the trash?
I would encourage people to start, if you haven't done this already, date yourself. And I learned something about myself when I took myself out on this date.
Are you all still together?
We are still very much together.
Okay.
You know what we like to do?
What do y'all do together?
We like to sit in silence.
Oh.
We don't talk about nothing.
Y'all just sit together.
We just sit in silence. I have found the white male version of She-Ra Sprinkle Sprinkle Lady. A guy named Russell Hartley. He's nice to look at. And he's entertaining AF. Here are some gems that he's dropped recently. If a broke man ghosts you, you should send him a thank you card.
Okay.
He said something like, I could have had 35 years dedicated to poverty, but you saved me, so thank you. He says if a man asks you what you bring to the table, that means he has a low credit score.
Amen. You know what? I love
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
How are you? You look great.
Thank you. So do you.
I love our matching sweaters. This one we kind of did plan because we were like, we should wear something Valentine's Day appropriate.
Exactly. So we actually did, but we didn't plan how we were going to do Valentine's Day. So that was the uncanny development. Yes.
No, this looks cute. It looks cute. Welcome to another episode of We Out of Office.
Welcome.
We are out of office.
We are out of office.
I am Nikki T.
And I'm Jane Allen.
And my out of office reply today is, thank you for your message. I am currently in Delululand and will return probably never. So good luck.
Well, my out of office reply, which is specific to writers will understand this. Thank you for your message. I'm currently editing. So, nah.
How intense is editing?
It is extraordinarily intense.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Like what's in give us the lay person's term, like, so, like, is it like childbirth? Because I can understand that.
Painful.
Is it like, waiting in a long ass line at Starbucks and you really just want your coffee and be gone?
It is. It's like the long car ride that never ends.
Oh.
It's Are We There Yet?
Oh.
On steroids.
Oh, that's
what it feels like. And you can edit as many times as you have time to edit.
Okay, that's
so rough. It's just intense. But this edit is, let's just put it like this. It should take 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And I have 12 days.
To edit a book?
Yeah, the whole thing.
I'm sorry. You have... Usually you have 30 days.
This is a copy edit.
So basically you have to do this in half the amount of time.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's hear up into this podcast so you can go back and do your work.
Well, no, yeah, it's a... That's
insane.
One day we'll talk about the writing process. But
yes.
But the one thing I will say for people, if you're listening, because I think a lot of people have desires to write books and then they feel like they can't because the books that they've read, they feel like what they write wouldn't look anything like what they see on the page.
Right.
So this is sort of behind the scenes into the process. So that first draft that most writers write is sort of a throwaway draft. What you see on the page is after 5 to 8 rounds of editing, maybe more, 20 rounds, who knows?
Yeah.
So this is, I don't even know what round of editing. So that's so much part of the writing process. So anyway.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, like I said.
Have faith in yourself.
That just sounds very intense. I love your hair also.
Thank you, boo.
The curls are curling. Are you still using Miche Beauty?
Now, this is B-Girl from Ledoux.
Oh, I love Ledoux.
Yeah, they do a really good job with curl definition products.
I use it for Lisbon's hair.
Yeah.
And her curls be popping.
Ledoux is, especially if you're in a hurry, you need something that's going to dry fast.
You're absolutely right.
This is what I'm rocking today.
I like the part.
Thank
and
you.
Your hair looks really full.
Thank you.
Are you still doing the 30 days wash and go?
I wash my hair twice a week now. So not every day. And it is, I've gotten my process almost down pat. So I'm going to do another YouTube video about it.
I love it.
But I will say that the secret and the magic, 2 things is, 1, detangling. I have figured out the detangling.
Ooh.
process.
Yes, share.
And
when you're
it's going to be on the
ready.
video.
Right, okay, yes, we'll do that.
The game is for YouTube.
Okay.
Because it's a long story. but detangling, and then the other thing is trimming. So micro trimming is what people are calling it. So it's like I just trim my edges when I see that they need to be dusted.
Not edges, the ends.
Trim my ends. Yeah, not my edges.
I was
what
like,
am I saying?
Trim your edges.
No, I don't trim my edges.
The edges are looking good.
No,
you got
to snatch the edges. Edges need to be full. No. Trim the ends. So micro dusting. Like, so your basic micro trimming. So if you just whatever, like you take a little bit off the ends.
Yeah, that makes sense. Keeps the rest of the hair healthy.
And that's why you're seeing this fullness.
It's got a little body to it.
The body's bonding.
I love it.
Well, thank you. Well, I love your sweater. I love of course, you look amazing. The mattification, honestly. You need to do a whole tutorial.
I'm telling you, Huda Beauty.
This is a new mattifier, though, right? That you're using?
Well, yeah, in the last month or so. I started using it in January, maybe December. Girl. No, since December. I didn't realize that's what I needed. I needed something to not only mattify my makeup, but also brighten my face. And so this is my go-to.
I need all the details. It's amazing. I mean, it looks professional.
Right?
Yes.
And
you know it does.
I know. The next thing I want to tackle is the eyewear, the eye makeup. Something that one of my favorite YouTube content creators, Janae Naylor,
but you have yours down pat.
No. I mean,
it's a natural, flattering
This is
look.
my natural everyday look. But like what Janae does is she figures out how to do like dramatic looks that stay on her face all day long. It doesn't droop. It doesn't melt off or anything like that. Because I don't really have hoods, right? Like eye hoods. So it's a little bit trickier. So I need to figure out that process. And when I do, I'll also share as well.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Okay.
So let's get into We See You Grow. What's your We See You Grow this week?
My We See You Grow, so it has to do with books. There's a couple books that have published recently or that came out. And then I am, if you see the video on YouTube, by the way, if you're listening and you have not visited us on YouTube, take a look because we do have video and then you can see everything that we're talking about. Today, I brought something very special, which we'll talk about in Minding My Black Business. But in my book stack, my I See You Girl, I want to give a shout out to Nancy Johnson. Her book, People of Means, came out this year.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned this book the other day.
It's dual timelines, partial historical fiction. She's gotten a lot of great blurbs. It's one of People Magazine's most anticipated books of the year.
Nice. I like the coloring of
It's
that
a mother
book.
and daughter story. Isn't it beautiful?
Not the door knocker earrings and the...
and the stereo.
Oh, I already know what this is.
Okay. People of Means, Nancy Johnson.
All right, Nancy Johnson.
She's the author of The Kindest Lie. So she was also a Target Club pick around the same time as I was with Black girls.
Oh,
and she and I have become really good friends.
Oh, yay.
So I'm excited for her book. I mean, she's a fantastic author. So aside from that, it's nice to know. It's nice to know fancy people.
That's hella cool.
And then also Victoria Christopher Murray. So she was the co-author of The Personal Librarian. I'm sorry.
Oh, I love The Personal Librarian.
Okay, so there's a white co-author and a black co-author.
Yes, let me see this book.
And so Victoria Christopher Murray was the
I really, really love The Personal Librarian. I wonder if that's being adapted, but... Doesn't matter. It's great.
Yeah. So she's got a book, historical fiction, Harlem Renaissance, came out on my birthday, February 4th. Mm-hmm. And shout out. So I See You Girls.
I love it.
I See You Girls.
That's awesome. Well, my I See You Girl this week goes to Wendy Williams.
Hey.
Because
How you doing?
I quote her often.
Yes. And you're definitely on the Team Wendy.
Well, I've been listening. So this is a little backstory. I lived in New York for almost 15 years. Mm-hmm. And I listened to the radio when people were still listening to the radio. And I never missed her show. WBLS, never missed her show. I remember when it was 3 hours and then it went to 4 hours. I remember when she became the talk show host. I went to her show a couple of times, skipped work to do so. And even my homegirl, one of my best friends, Rashida, she actually interned for her. So I am a huge Wendy Williams fan. So when I saw what we all saw, it really hurt my heart.
Oh, it was heartbreaking.
Right? So the reason why she gets a We See You Girl, because she's been on this tour recently, basically proving to people that she's doesn't need to be under this guardianship.
Right.
She was on The Breakfast Club. She was talking with Don Lemon. Mm-hmm. And her final stop, one of the recent stops, it's with Harvey Levin at TMZ.
Yeah.
So they did this whole interview where she's literally talking on the phone with Harvey. Mm-hmm. And the TMZ crew have a camera on her at the window of this facility that she's in.
So wait, she's in a
facility in New York where she's surrounded by a bunch of she's in what she calls a memory unit because she was diagnosed with this thing called frontotemporal aphasia.
Right.
And look, a couple of years ago,
she was in bad shape.
The interview that I saw with Harvey, this girl's
she's made a recovery. Well, they were saying that it could be, and I don't know about Wendy's personal life, but I'm just quoting and repeating that there was an alcohol-related reason for that.
Which I can
So
believe
maybe there's a possibility for recovery if you stop
Correct. Because if you saw the Lifetime special, the lady was drinking.
Right.
Now, they did this interview. They dropped it on Tubi.
Yeah.
And literally within hours, her lawyer was able to draw up papers where she can start, so she signed some papers so they can start the process of removing her from the guardianship.
Right.
Because if you're diagnosed with frontotemporal aphasia, you don't get better.
And she's gotten better.
Wendy has gotten better.
So, okay. So they need to revisit this.
So basically she's going to get reevaluated next week.
Yay.
So hopefully, they will undo the diagnosis. And this doctor that's going to reevaluate her is not picked by the judge, but by a lawyer of her own. And if the judge does not agree with the diagnosis or the re-diagnosis or whatever it is, the lawyer can ask for it to go to trial, which you can do in New York, which means then the people will decide
of a jury, right?
Whether or not she should be in a guardianship.
Right. Well, shout out to Wendy.
I
and
know.
We are holding her in positive vibes.
I really hope
and high expectations
she gets to be free. And I hope this
of course
continues to spark discussions about guardianships and conservatorships because we've seen what it did to Britney. Mm-hmm. Now we're seeing what it's doing to Wendy. And I'm sure there are a bunch of people who are not famous, who are under the same restrictions, who don't deserve to be. And I'm just really, it's good to hear her voice like back to what who she was, because it's like, oh, could Wendy possibly make a comeback? And if that's so, I'll be
we'll be waiting for the shoe cam.
I'll be shouting it out.
You know what? I want to watch her Don Lemon interview because I didn't get to see it. So
that Don Lemon interview was.
I'm gonna check that out.
Pretty enlightening as well. And shout out to her niece, because her niece
has been fighting for her.
Yes, it's always good to have people fight for you in your corner, and it's just been really beautiful to see how she has been fighting for her aunt, and to see that this could actually come to an end like sooner rather than later. It's just beautiful to watch. So shout out to her niece. I can't remember her name right now, but if you've been following, you know who she is.
Wow, that's inspiring. Mm-hmm, so let's move to what I'm on right now.
Okay, so what about you? What are you on right now?
Oh my gosh, so much. Well, it is Valentine's Day,
yes.
So quite fitting for the Day of Love on the topic of self-love. So I have been going through a whole experience of trying to bring my body into alignment with how I want it to look. So this is my fluffy era, I like to call it. And when you're in a fluffy era,
yes,
right? I mean, when you're when you're at cruising altitude, okay?
Yes, which is AKA woman of a certain age.
Your body likes to stuff the seats. Your body likes to have a full flight. Okay, all the seats are full. And I'm just saying that does not align with how I see myself.
Right.
This vision of me is not the same vision that I have of myself.
Right.
So when I look in the mirror,
what is your vision of love?
Love or myself?
Of love, like of yourself. Like
self-love. I see myself very fit and fly. Like, which, I mean, whatever. So anyway, that's not where we are right now. Okay. Let's just say that. Okay. We are at a layover. This is not the destination.
Which country are you visiting in this layover, by the way?
Somewhere where there's a lot of food.
Is it France?
I would say it's Italy because I'm looking more like pasta. Okay. But anyway, but let's just get to my point.
Go ahead.
So in my self-love journey, what I decided to do, what is more radical when you're not feeling totally confident about yourself than buying new lingerie? So what I decided to do was first I started doing this mid-size fashion search. I was looking for, evidently there's this thing called mid-size fashion.
I don't even know what that means.
It's fluffy fashion. It's fashion for fluffies, just like me.
Wait. So it's not
it's
plus size.
It's fashion for fluffies. No,
it's the mid-size before the plus size.
I call it fluffies. It's like size 10 to 12.
Fluffies unite.
Yes, fashion for fluffies.
Okay.
So that's mid-size fashion. So I was looking at mid-size fashion and I was like, I found this Adore Me, which is a lingerie brand. They had this incredible sort of cabaret-themed fashion show where it was so body inclusive, size inclusive, lingerie strutting down the runway. Everybody looked like they were feeling confident. They loved themselves at any size.
Love that.
And they had some really cool styles that looked flattering. And I was like, lingerie could look like that. So anyway, what I decided to do is do their model it's a monthly subscription. I signed up. So basically every month you get a lingerie set. So you have to go.
What?
Yes. It's size inclusive. So I went and I splurged on myself and I went and picked out, they sell them in sets and you pay this like one-time monthly, I think it's like $40 a month. And then you get a lingerie set every month. It requires you to kind of show up for because you would never buy lingerie when you're not like feeling yourself. Right. So to me, this is this radical self-love moment. So I'm on this right now. I'm all about it. I will let you know how it goes.
Please do. I love this for you.
Yes. So by the end of the year, I will have 12 sets of, at any size. So if I'm this size this month, then I do whatever is this size. If I'm another size next month, I do that. So I think there's nothing more radical in terms of body positivity than doing something that's just about celebrating your body, even when you don't feel as confident as you want to. So that's what I'm on right now.
I love that. I would say send me pics, but
I'm like,
send me pics of the lingerie
I'll send you
when it comes in the box, not with you in it, because that's not for me. And I don't want to get in trouble with your boo,
girl,
because that's not for me.
I don't know. If it looks good like I want it to look, I may post it, but no, I won't. But I might I wouldn't be about that life.
I'll post this now and delete later.
I know.
Might
delete later was feeling cute.
Feeling cute. Might delete later. I love it. Well,
what are you on?
Well, you know me. I'm obsessed with the daughter of Pakistan, or Niger Robinson.
Amen. I love her.
So, I just got a reminder that the new season of Love is Blind is on.
What?
So,
already?
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do a Love is Blind rewatch thing.
We do
recap. We have to do that. Okay.
Of course.
Focus.
I
Nicole.
didn't even know. Thank you.
Thank you, Netflix,
That's
for the
public
notification.
Service announcement.
Yes, Love is Blind, new season on Netflix right now.
Today, was that a surprise drop?
I just saw this notification on my phone.
Okay.
Anyways,
you're welcome, everyone, for that news.
You're welcome. So back to Onaja. So daughter of Pakistan, where in the world is Onaja Robinson? Okay. So last we saw her, she was leaving Pakistan and then she was in Dubai and then she went silent. I honestly kind of don't know if she made it to New York, but again, shout out to Bilal Hassan on TikTok. He had made a post earlier this week where he said that Pakistan launched a special brand of chips in her honor called the American Popper, a.k.a. American Crackers, with her face on it.
Poppin'.
And it's a green box and her face on it. And then there's a fashion house that's also selling the green outfit that she was wearing.
What?
Like kind of like an outfit of the day, like pick up your
She is the poster child for delusion.
I'm telling you, like this is why I'm in Delulu.
She is the theme of 2025, whether we like it or not. I don't care what she does from here. I'm sure this might end wrong, but I'm just gonna say this may take a turn. But I just want to freeze this right
kind
here.
Of energy.
Yeah. This is the energy we need for 2025.
It really is fascinating.
Everybody pay attention. This is where we need to be. We need to be in Delulu land.
Delulu land.
Delusional thinking is the way to level up.
She's going to be at a club appearance tomorrow at 11:11 in New York City. So I will be keeping my eye out for that. There's a flyer that was made that said that she was going to be here. We don't know if she will be there.
We're going to do, do an Onaja check. But Fake It Till You Make It has a new poster child. So this is who we look to.
It's definitely Onaja.
I'm inspired.
But something else I'm also on right now, like everyone else, is the recent Black history that was made.
Oh.
Kendrick Lamar's performance at the Super Bowl halftime show, which has now become the most viewed show of all time.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Brilliant.
There are so many layers. There's still layers.
There's layers to the layers.
Is layers to the layers. But he did it with such flair.
Yes.
In those jeans. They were Celine, by the way. And yes, they are sold out. The jeans that he was wearing. But there are many highlights to cover. But you know what? The one thing that I feel like that hasn't gotten enough attention is Samuel L. Jackson's appearance, performance in the show, right? So, as you know, he played the house slave in Django Unchained. So for him to be tasked yet again with keeping Negroes, quote unquote, in line throughout the show, I think is representing some Black folks that are doing that today. I think what I loved most about his performances is knowing his back history as well.
Samuel Jackson.
Sam Jackson. Now, I don't know how much, if y'all know this. This is also going to go into my Black facts because, this is what I'm on right now.
That's right.
So Sam Jackson, back in 1969, he was a student at Morehouse. Okay? Where he took part
Shout out to Morehouse.
He took part of a protest where he held the board of trustees hostage. One of them included Martin Luther King Sr.
So do we know that Martin Luther King Jr.'s father was on the board of trustees at Morehouse?
We know now.
I knew he was a Morehouse man, but I did not know that he was Morehouse legacy man.
So his dad was part of the board of trustees. The kids at the time were protesting because they felt like the board of trustees wasn't doing enough for them. So they basically held them hostage.
At Morehouse, okay.
At one point, I think they had a list of demands, and one of them being they wanted a Black Studies program. At one point, MLK Sr. had chest pains, and Sam and the crew were like, okay, cool, but we're not going to open up this door. We're going to lower you through a window.
Okay, they were really about
that life. This just is to give you a sense of who Sam Jackson was. So the tension that's in the Super Bowl halftime show
between Kendrick
and Sam's character
and this Uncle Sam character
completely mirrors the tension that he experienced in real life when he was a young man at Morehouse and the older Black folks that were part of the board of trustees. Their main gripe was that even though there was some representation there, it was still mostly ran by white people. So that's where it came from. But,
and I think that's a tension that I think about this a lot, especially this year, because a lot of us generationally have different views of what should and shouldn't happen and how things should go. And I think part of us, we were looking to uphold the structures of stability for the country in the choices that we make. And I think that certain political, the Democrats in particular, want to uphold the structures as we know them and have a continuity and avoid chaos and destruction, which seems to be the era that we're in now. There's something to be said for change behind chaos. And the younger generations are all about that. They're like, you know what? Let's see it rumble.
Let's go.
Let's see the.
In fact, some of them are like, let's burn it down.
Yeah, let's burn it. So the Samuel Jackson generation, I think we're looking at this right now, and it was just so timely to have as part of Kendrick's show.
Very timely. But I want to shout out Khalil Green on Instagram for helping me draw the parallels. But I also, again, TikTok Nation, someone else mentioned, did you see how many stars were on his jacket?
Oh, no.
So there's 16 stars to represent the 16 free states that existed between 1850 and 1858.
Okay, so we're gonna be watching this video.
When I tell you this man's
times.
halftime show is like a living, breathing AP class, AP history.
He said the
class.
revolution is about to be televised.
Did you also PP say you picked the wrong guy?
Yeah, you got the wrong one.
You got the wrong one. But I thought that was incredibly fascinating to get that other piece of the other nugget. And then someone else also noticed that did you pick up that whenever Kendrick in between the segments when Sam wasn't speaking to him and he was trying to figure out what to do next, that he was talking to women.
Oh no!
Basically his. I like to call him
his chorus.
His chorus, his K-dots, I like to say.
So that is a literary device also that you'll see in literary fiction where authors will utilize the technique or the device of the chorus.
Exactly.
Within, Kendrick Lamar, is he the only rapper that's ever won a Pulitzer Prize for music?
So. Yes.
And it's usually jazz and other musicians. So the fact that he's using, this is literature.
It's AP English.
In the form of music. It is
AP English. It's AP history. It's literally an AP class. He's using
literary devices. This is so deep. I love the depth and intelligence that he brings into this. We're going to have to watch this 900 times.
See, that's why it's the most watched, because I feel like people keep going back to see things that they may have missed. And
you have missed, and you believe you've missed so much, which is what I like to think about with a good book. And I always say that's how I'm aiming to write, where it's you need to read this more than once. Even if you think you didn't, you definitely missed something.
I love it. It was just such a great moment. So that's what I'm on right now. I will continue to watch the show to see if I've missed anything else. But I thought that was a really cool nugget to see, like, oh, did you notice that every time you saw counsel, it was with Black women? Yeah. And I was like, oh, didn't even notice that. But
there's so much. We could watch this 15 more times next year
and still
find more things.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to
He's way ahead of us. Look, I mean, who writes a diss track that turns into the #1 worldwide hit?
Someone check on
year-long hit, and then won a Grammy. I mean, this.
And then
I'm sorry.
with a Canadian tuxedo. Apparently, I just learned this too. It's a denim suit.
Are you serious?
They call it a Canadian tuxedo. Like, this man got layers. This man got layers. Anyway, we'll be here all day.
We'll be here all day.
So, Jesus, take the wheel. Do you have one?
No.
Okay, I got one. I got one.
No special one.
I got one. Just this is real brief. As much as I love my content creators, this creator economy has gotten people acting crazy. Don Julio and Popeyes
I saw that.
Had a collaboration leading up to the Super Bowl.
Is this a Jesus Take the Wheel?
I think it's a Jesus Take the Wheel. Because
this could be what I'm on right now. Did you try it?
No, because it was only available in 6 locations. Why is everything a collab? Like, can we just let things be like...
This doesn't make sense. Because if you're not going to have Don Julio in the Popeyes actually there, then in the drinks...
So people... No. Apparently, they put the Don Julio in the marinade of the chicken and of the wings.
But it can't have alcohol in it.
Well, apparently you have to be 21 and over
to have the wings.
To buy the meal. So they had 3 things. What? They had a mocktail.
What in the liquor license?
That's what I'm saying. They had a mocktail, which I heard was good. Wings and this concha chicken sandwich. They were the official wing of watching football and the official tequila of the big game. Look. I saw the reviews.
It's a lot.
People were like, meh, but people were really loving the branding because there's a cup that the mocktail came in that people were like, get me that. So maybe it is a little bit wet on right now, but it's really about like the collabs. Like I appreciate a good collab. I really do.
But there's such a thing as too far.
Yeah, this one was a little bit like a head scratcher. I mean, you have people just eating the chicken wing and then... Did I say egg scratcher?
Head scratcher.
Oh, no, it's a head scratcher. I thought it was egg scratcher. But no, people were dripping Don Julio on the sandwich. And I was like, okay,
this
guys.
Isn't... we've gone too far.
So I feel like we've gone a little bit too far. The other thing, speaking of the Super Bowl, the brand Poppy... they did a partnership with a bunch of influencers where they sent vending machines to them as a launch or collaboration or a brand extension or whatever, activation. That's what the word I was looking for. And people were like, why didn't you use this opportunity to send the vending machines to like hospitals or schools or
Okay.
nursing homes. Like, why to influencers? So people thought that was a missed opportunity to really elevate the brand.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, well, maybe that is the brand then. The brand's not like, we're not about that life.
It's called Poppy.
Yeah, we're popping. We're not. We're not
trying to be in no nursing home.
We're not trying to.
We're not trying to be in the hospitals.
We're not trying to be saintly. We're trying to pop.
We trying to pop them things.
We popping. Okay.
So, anyways, that's a little bit of Jesus Take the Wheel. It less on the Poppy, but more on the Don Julio and the Popeyes. I just is like, I don't understand.
That is.
Come
although
on,
I
y'all.
will say, can I just add? This is another. It's a Jesus Take the Wheel from the influencer. From the social media space. I do feel like on the Poppy tip.
Yeah.
I do feel like the love language of social media often is criticism. Like people feel like if they need to say something, it needs to be critical.
Yes.
As opposed to, because that makes them more intelligent or something.
As opposed to just giving them some love, shouting them out. Like, I agree with you.
Why can't the love language of social media be love? Like, why can't we just use that to why can't we have a competition of how positive your comic can be? That's not interesting for some reason.
No, it's not interesting. Also, we're trash.
Does it need to
People
be
are
the
trash.
People are like, do we
People
need to be
people
trash?
can be
though?
trash.
Can we take ourselves out of the trash? Can we I'm just saying.
Rinse it off.
Just rinse it off.
And just
dust
keep it
off.
pushing.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, but you're right. People are very judgmental, very critical.
I
was just critical.
Well, no, you're echoing what is going on in this space. So when I'm listening to it, like I feel like in particular the thing that started this in my mind was the vending machine. Because this is like, we're like, oh, they sent the vending machine to influencers. Why didn't they send it to?
Oh yeah,
nursing
why
home?
did they send? Yeah,
it's like because they didn't.
Because that's not them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they didn't want to.
When's the last time you went to a nursing home? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday? What day did you go?
That's a good point.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? So people, I just feel like people are just like coming up with stuff. It's
people
like,
just be talking.
People just be talking.
People just be talking.
But I'm like, let's try something new.
That's right. Speaking of something new, this is a segment that we brought back and we're going to continue to bring back, especially for this month, Black History Month, minding my Black business.
Yes.
What business do you want to highlight?
I'm so excited about this. Okay, so I would like to highlight.
Yes.
I have my notes. It's the Bookmark Carrier by Corinne Marie. Now, I found out about this on Blavity, and as soon as I saw it, I bought it, and then it sold out. Now, if you are
this is hella cute.
Again on YouTube, I'm going to describe what this is. So I have a hardcover version of my book that, if you know Black Girls Must Die Exhausted, it's got a pink cover. And so what I did was I went immediately when I saw the Bookmark Carrier to the website and got the pink version of it. Now, what the Bookmark Carrier is, I don't know if you hear this chain, the charm on the end of it rattling in the microphone, but it is a fabric swath, like a rectangle swath, that serves as a bookmark. You put it in the middle of your book. But the fabric is connected to a strap like you would see for a purse.
So you can carry it as a purse.
So you can carry your
That's great.
book like a purse. And it comes with a cute little charm on the end. Look at this.
Now, what are the prices?
So this was like $29 or something. It's totally reasonable.
Okay, it's reasonable.
I bought two.
Let me feel
because
it. Let me see what this quality is looking like.
It's so cute. You can put your book under your arm. You go hands-free. And I thought that when I wrote these books, when I first started writing books, I was like, you know what? The most important accessory that you can carry in your hand is a book, because it shows people what you're putting in your mind.
Yeah.
And so I was very deliberate about how I designed the original edition of this book, from the size to what was on the cover, the colors. I wanted the representation of the brown-skinned Black woman with natural hair on the cover, because I felt like this was an accessory. And now it literally is an accessory that you can carry like a bag.
I also love how bright and colorful it is despite the title.
Well, the title is a double entendre.
Yes.
So the Black Girls Must Die Exhausted, it's a book about life.
Yes.
But the title is a double entendre, which you have to read the book to understand.
Definitely read the book. I do understand. Yep.
So
that's very cute. I like the purple one. I like this chain. And it's light too. It's not heavy.
It's super cute. So this is the bookmark, and then you have it.
All right, Corinne.
I mean, it's just, you just want to feel fly. Readers are fly anyway. I mean, so like, why not combine books and fashion, which is, Corinne Marie is a novelist who is a passion for fashion.
Well, you know who else has a passion for fashion?
Who?
Me.
Oh, yes.
Because the business I want to highlight today.
Which business are you highlighting?
It's Hanifa by Hanifa Mwemba. So I've decided for Black History Month, I'm going to treat Black History Month kind of like a holiday season.
Your Hanifa bag is what you said you were waiting for, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I decided to treat myself for Black History Month. I bought myself a present. Now, to be fair, I bought this last year.
Okay.
But it didn't arrive until recently.
Really?
It was like back
the
ordered.
end of last year.
And I opened it and I love it.
Don't you love a back order?
I really do. It was like a surprise. It was a nice surprise. But Hanifa is a wife, a mom, a believer. She has the cutest kid. She has a fab home. She's the founder of the brand Hanifa. She recently started sharing a bit more of herself online. She's like, I'm really nervous about opening up and myself to the world, which I can definitely relate to. So I'm happy to see her talk more about the brand and the inspiration behind it. It's really cool to see people who you're supporting.
So is it just accessories or it's clothing?
So I'll tell you.
Okay.
So Hanifa is a brand that the signature, their like line or whatever, the what's the quote? How do I describe it? Their log line, because I'm in TV, so I'll just say the log line for them, it's for women without limits.
I like that.
So she's all about wanting to live freely and helping women do that with their clothes.
Okay.
So she has dresses, sweaters, bags. I have a long cardigan sweater dress.
Ooh.
This beautiful purple, kind of like your Gucci purple, the one that you had
my eyeliner.
a while ago.
Yes,
the eyeliner,
the
that kind of color.
electric purple.
Electric purple.
Like electric lavender.
Mm-hmm. And now I have this bag.
Okay.
Which I'm very excited
What color
about.
is the bag?
It's chocolate brown.
Oh, you
And
gotta love a good chocolate brown.
Again, Janae Naylor reviewed one that was like a large size, but I got the medium size and has a little pochette in it. It's very roomy, very spacious. It's a very well-structured bag. And I'll obviously include clips online so that you guys can see it.
Notes.
But Hanifa is one of my favorite fashion brands, and I'm just very excited to continue to support brands like hers, like Hanifa's. There are others that I would love to highlight, but maybe I should do that in a separate reel. But Hanifa is that girl for Minding My Black Business this week.
I love it. Well, we have two really good ones. So yeah, I'm gonna put the link for the Bookmark Carrier by Corinne Marie.
Yes.
And the show notes also. If you're a book lover and a reader, and you can put your bookmark carrier in your Hanifa bag.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes. So what's good this week for you?
Well, what is good? Oh my gosh. Okay, let me talk about this.
Yes.
Now, see, I did not know about Love is Blind. And if I did,
now you have to choose.
I would be talking. I don't.
No, I'm watching both. I'm going
to watch both because there's
Love is
no
Blind
way
and
I'm not watching Love is Blind. I told you I'm going until the last golden goblet breaks in the sink. I'm going to be watching.
Yes.
I don't care if nobody else is watching.
I'm going to join you this time.
You have to.
I've been very critical. Speaking of being critical, I've been critical of like previous seasons, but I'm going to watch it with you because
you are missing out.
It brings you joy.
And
And this is all about joy, right? This podcast.
Radical joy. And what better to do than to talk about these people critically, I'm sure. I'll be happy to. Listen, I will talk about this day in and day out. But before I watch the first episode of Love is Blind new season, season 327 or however many seasons it's been, the new season of White Lotus season 3 on HBO is coming out this week, and on Sunday I will be watching it.
Yes,
100%.
You should do a recap.
We need to do a recap. I feel if we this is our version of a book club, which I think we need to start a book club at some point.
We need to start a book club, but I feel like our what's good for the next couple of weeks will probably be
television,
Love is Blind, and White Lotus.
Of course,
a nice healthy balance.
Well, I'm editing, so I really can only do.
Oh yeah, you can only do those two shows.
I can only
anyway.
do so much, and honestly, I'm not missing a single episode of White Lotus. So shout out to Mike White on this.
I love the range. It's the elevated and the whatever Love is Blind is.
you whatever level Love is Blind.
Look, this last season.
You're like, it's not the penthouse.
It's definitely not the penthouse.
We'll figure out what floor.
It's
okay.
You'll love it. Problematic. Some of the stuff
I'm like, problematic. That's a whole point. Why would we watch it otherwise? This is the whole point.
I mean, who am I? I'm watching Real Housewives like
See, I don't.
it went out of style.
Me and the Housewives fell out.
It's not going out of style. Whatever the phrase is, the American colloquial thing is. But I'm watching Real Housewives
like it's going out of style.
Like it's going out of style. Okay, yeah. Beverly Hills. We just wrapped New York. Potomac is ongoing still.
They're people's friends in their heads. Like they're friends of people in those people's
I'm not
heads.
friends with these people.
Okay,
but some of them. Well, there's a couple people on Housewives that I'm like, I think we could be friends in real life.
See,
but the others,
I feel like it's like that's what people are watching for. It's like this is vicarious, except when they start fighting and stuff. But whatever.
Yeah, that's why it was like, ugh. Okay. Anyways, okay. So I have found the white male version of Shira Sprinkle Sprinkle Lady.
Oh, I don't know.
His name is. You don't know Shira Sprinkle Sprinkle?
No, I don't think so. I don't know her. Do we need a cricket sound?
You don't know Shira Sprinkle Sprinkle? She'd be like, Sprinkle Sprinkle?
I don't know Sprinkle.
Okay.
I'll find out. This is what this podcast. See it.
I will put you on to Shira Sprinkle Sprinkle.
If you like me listening, have never heard of Shira Sprinkle, we're going to find out together.
Guarantee you a lot of people who listen to this know who Shira Sprinkle Sprinkle is.
But somebody listening doesn't.
Okay, you're right. Okay. So
we're going to find out together. We got to put that in the show notes because I will know between now and the next episode
who Shira Sprinkle Sprinkle is.
And
okay,
so
cool.
will anybody listening who checks out the show notes where we put all the links to everything we reference. So if this is the first time you're hearing about something, you can too find out more.
So there's a guy named Russell Hartley. Mm-hmm. He's a multimillionaire in LA. How he got his money, I don't know. And I honestly don't care.
That's an important question.
But that's not the point. The point is, this is for my single gals who are listening. I don't always like what he says, but he is nice to look at. And he's entertaining AF. So several episodes ago, I've talked about Anwar White. He's like the fairy godbrother, the dating coach guy. He's more my speed, but Russell is very entertaining. Here are some gems that he's dropped recently. If a broke man ghosts you, you should send him a thank you card.
Okay.
He says something like, I could have had 35 years dedicated to poverty, but you saved me, so thank you. He says if a man asks you what you bring to the table, that means he has a low credit score.
Amen. You know what? I love that. Okay, just for that, Russell, you get a vote from me. Because honestly, I'm tired of those conversations about high value and low value.
Which we talked about in the previous episode.
I have high value. I have employment.
So a 25-year-old asked about his opinion on what her age range should be. He's like, you should date them all. What are we talking about? He, what else did he say? Oh, he says... if you're dating a man is older than you and he's not rich, what charity are you a part of?
Okay.
And last but not least, this single mom asked, she's like, I'm a single mom. Can I find a man? He's like, ma'am, as long as you take care of yourself, you will always have offers. Men will date you if you have a husband. So why do you think they'll care if you have a kid?
Yes. You know what? This is why we all need a dose of Onija, because I think that as women in particular right now is our era to just live full out. And just let go of all the cares.
Listen, and go to Russell Hartley and Shira too.
And Shira. Well, I'm going to find out about Shira.
Because these are the kinds of gems that they drop. And he has this laugh where people call it his rich laugh. And it's really funny.
A rich laugh.
It's a very rich laugh. So shout out to Russell Hartley. That's I'm finding what's good this week, because as I was waiting, so Lisbon does gymnastics. So while she was doing her thing, I was watching his videos and you find
the best stories on. I feel like your social media feed is its own show. Like it's truly its own television.
I've done a really good job curating.
You did a good job.
It's work. I put in the work.
You do. You put in the work and
for this for my timeline.
I love being able to benefit from it. So
and now y'all will too.
I know.
So as we head towards the end of our episode here, we're going to talk about health and healing.
Oh yes.
Well, in the spirit of Valentine's Day.
Valentine's.
I feel like
Black people would be like Valentine's. What you doing for Valentine's?
Valentine's. Look, I want to encourage people to start, if you haven't done this already, date yourself.
Oh, I love that. 100%.
I don't do it enough. But I did it recently. I took myself out to lunch.
You was married.
I was married now.
But you still should date yourself, even if you're married.
Correct.
Or
You
partnered.
should date your partner. You should date yourself. Okay?
Yes.
And I learned something about myself when I took myself out on this date.
Are you all still together?
We are still very much together.
Okay.
You know what we like to do?
What do y'all do together?
We like to sit in silence.
Oh.
We don't talk about nothing.
Y'all just sit together.
We just sit in silence.
I love that.
I probably said like 10 words.
To yourself?
No, to the period. For the hour and a half I was there, it was, hi, can I have...
Wait,
Thank
where did
you.
you go?
I went to Laurel Grill.
Okay. With yourself?
By myself.
And y'all sat and chilled?
I didn't have
You
my
and
phone
yourself.
out. I didn't read a book. I literally sat there and enjoyed this salad and fries, Caesar salad and fries, had a nice glass of wine.
Because you could.
And did nothing.
Did.
I just ate.
Did you feel uncomfortable eating alone? Because I think a lot of people are hesitant to go out by themselves to eat. Now, did you sit at the bar or you sat at a table by yourself?
I think I sat at the bar. If I remember correctly, I sat at the bar.
Okay, so for people, because I think people would really want tips on dining alone. Because I've had this conversation several times with women.
Yeah.
And some women, especially if I see them dining alone, I have asked, how do you, like, what's up with this? And one woman, I was in the Bay Area, she's like, I always take myself out. And I sit at the bar because it's a lot easier than just sitting at the table by myself. But sometimes I'll sit by myself because I'm worth it and I just enjoy the food.
Yes. And I didn't have to talk to nobody. No one was chatting me up, which was perfect. And I left the restaurant being like, with a nice sigh of relief or something, and just like, it was like, all right, now I'm going to continue with my day. But you really should take yourself, you should date yourself. And I'm not talking about, let me go get my nails done, or let me run errands, or let me, like, go to a museum, walk around a museum by yourself, go to a restaurant by yourself. Like, literally think of a date and then do it alone.
Yes, 100%.
It's great.
I agree with this.
I was so happy. I daydreamed a bit. It was awesome.
That is awesome. Beautiful. I hope this inspires somebody listening to go on a date with yourself. And don't feel intimidated by dining alone.
No, love yourself, date yourself.
Sit at the bar if you feel intimidated being at a table by yourself. There's always options.
Yes.
You might be the guru of this.
Listen, let's go.
You're the new expert that will have.
I'll give you ideas
with your own segment
for you to date yourself.
I think you need your own segment on dating yourself for this podcast.
All right.
Okay. Because people need tips.
I got ideas.
We need to encourage the rules.
I got ideas. Okay. So
I have
what's
a
your
real quick one.
Yeah.
So this is another thing that actually I'm on right now because I just discovered it. I've seen the episodes before, but this is the first one I've watched all the way through. Is Diary of a CEO podcast on YouTube.
Podcast. Yeah.
And it was an incredible episode on insulin resistance and glucose. It was a doctor on the episode. And what I loved about the conversation and the guest is being interviewed, I don't have his name, but I will put that in the show notes with the link, is that he continually qualified what he was saying based on whether he had done the research or not. If he said, I'm speculating, he would say, if he was speculating, he would say, I'm speculating. I did not do the research on this. This is just my sense of things based on what I know.
Yeah.
Which I think is very important, especially now, because people will tell you all kinds of stuff and have absolutely no basis in fact
whatsoever.
Or scientific proof. But he qualified everything, but the things where he did have studies, it was really, really incredible information. He talked about insulin and the role that insulin plays in the body and how it's kind of the root of so many ailments that we don't realize.
Yep. The
management of insulin, his recommendations. Because I like when people identify the problem and then give you the solution. Like, please give me the answer to the test. Like, don't do that to me.
Yeah. Don't put me through the ringer.
Don't put me through the ringer.
Yes.
But he gave qualified answers. And then also he talked about Ozempic and the other very popular injectable drugs.
Yeah.
And the downsides, the pluses and the minuses. But he wasn't all, polarized about it. He wasn't like, this is the worst thing ever or the best thing ever. He said, here are the benefits and here are the drawbacks. Here are the things to keep in mind. Is it a drug that can work?
I love that.
Yes. Can it do harm? Yes, but here's how you think about it. So it was just such a powerful episode, and I'll be linking it in the show notes, but it was thinking about insulin management. I think I might be doing keto at this point, and fat. Like, you're already on this.
Yes.
You're all over it.
Yes.
But fasting, and I think I'm going to be doing
keto is key for it to help to manage insulin resistance. You're balancing your hormones and all of that.
100%. So I'm on it now.
Okay, well, we'll
I'm
talk
on that
about.
right
well,
now.
I would like to take
I might
the
be
look at
on
the
that next episode.
Well, we're at the end.
At the end.
Let's do our final word. Actually, this one was shared with me last night. My husband said this to me, and I was like, "That's a word. I'm going to add that to the episode tomorrow." Mm-hmm. And he was. We were talking about our careers and the difference between where we want to be and what you want to be.
Okay.
Right? So where you want to be is a title. It's a certain status. But what you want to be is something that brings you joy. Right?
Makes sense.
So it doesn't matter where you want to be. You really should be focusing on what you want to be, because what you want to be will follow you anywhere you go. So that's my final word.
I love that. I had a friend, we both got laid off together. And I remember she said to me, she's like, this was my dream job. I don't know what, but I was like, but was it your dream life? And I was actually asking her the question sincerely, and she just like stopped for a second, and she was like, and then like years later she moved to Bali. she was like, this isn't my dream life. She was like, actually no.
Exactly.
Well, in that vein, the power of the right question. So so the Diary CEO, so I did a little bit more digging around once I discovered it. I was like, oh, this is great. And what they do is at the end of the podcast, they have the end of the interview, they have the interviewee answer a question that was posed or written by the prior interviewee. So the immediately prior interviewee. So the person that was interviewed just before the person that you see in the episode, they wrote a question without knowing who would answer it.
Oh,
and
dope.
So the interviewer gives the person that question that somebody wrote kind of blindly for them, but it was meant to be like a deeply probing question. And so I thought, wow, that's really amazing to give somebody a question that makes them shift their thinking or gives them something in their own finding of the answer. So I wanted to introduce that in the final word today. And an important question. And so Felicia Hatcher on IG, I saw a video where she was saying that someone asked her a question that kind of shifted her whole perspective. And that question that was asked was, who would you be uninterrupted? Meaning that without friction, without limiting beliefs, without worry about resources, if you knew you had all the resources you needed immediately at hand, there's no friction, no doubt, no limiting beliefs, who would you be without those interruptions? Who would you be uninterrupted? And so that's the question I would like to leave with the audience, with myself. I'm still answering that question.
Yeah, me
leave
too.
that question with you.
Yeah.
And so that's
that's a great way to end our episode. So happy Valentine's Day,
y'all.
Happy
Valentine's Day, the day of love.
Of yourself first.
Amen.
Remember, love yourself first.
Love yourself.
All right, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.